So, when will it end? I finally realized that I'd made a huge oversight. Chiemi had passed her limit long ago, and I'd forgotten that my sense for such things was a bit different than a normal person's. I wanted to clear the feast with a minimal number of deaths and find out how many days could go by without a murder. It required the agreement of all the participants. It wasn't something I could do by myself, and I needed Chiemi to try with me. I didn't mind looping about 100 times more. She, however, didn't want to loop ever again. She tried weird things before because she wanted to try a method that could let her win quickly and easily, even if it was absurd. In her eyes, my plan to loop hundreds upon hundreds of times in the case of trial and error was simply unacceptable. I was killed. She wanted to kill me, and so she shot me right up front. Haruaki, what if the winning move is to kill you 100 times? I realized that I'd never considered what a threat Chiemi with memories could be. I was killed over and over again. Over and over. Sometimes she killed me right upon seeing me in the darkness of Saranaga or the dining hall. This is so damn fun. Your expression is so new to me. I love it. Sometimes she acted at events like I'd remembered them, then grinned and killed me when I was completely defenseless. Did you forget? Too bad. Chiemi Dark Edition is still alive. Apparently, she didn't remember things until I provoked it somehow. That must have been because the number of loops she'd spent alone was way lower than the number of loops since we'd started sharing memories. Her loop count was probably way over 100. She was a whole lot more damaged than I first thought. Oh, but after she killed me 63 times, it finally got to me. I'd been attacked in Saranaga about 20 times now. Half of the times she just blasted me with both shotguns at the same time, just like this time. Otherwise, she used traps or feints to corner me, then finished me off. So, she had no idea how to handle a situation in which I survived her first shotgun blasts. No. Why? No. No what? How do you think I feel about getting killed over and over? Honestly, not even I'd expected to find a bulletproof vest in that convenience store. God damn it. It didn't protect me completely, though. It just kept my torso from being blown to pieces. My rib cage was shattered and the internal injuries were undoubtedly fatal. Still, I had enough life in me to catch her off guard and fight back. Chiemi, how do you want to die? Oh man, this was so satisfying. What'll I do next time, though? What would she do to me after this? Would this just continue forever? This might have been an actual dead end. Man. You're such a damn pain in the ass. End of the line for me this time. Sorry. She could still breathe. My consciousness faded at about the same moment as I delivered the final attack. The next loop came. I entered Yasumizu through Saranaga and encountered Chiemi just like always. This time was different though. She didn't have any weapons. Chiemi didn't attack me or run. She just vacantly looked at nothing in particular. Nice to meet you, Chiemi Serizawa. I sat down next to her. Nice to meet you, Ariaki Fuzashi. What a mechanical response. Saying each other's names on our first encounter had become common practice since we'd started sharing memories of the loops. However, neither of us said anything more this time. Oops, what button did I even touch accidentally? It was awkward. It felt like we'd just had a fight. Well, not like we hadn't. What is it? Are you mad? I don't have a reason to be. Yeah, but you are mad. Pain in the ass hurt a bit to hear. Hey, don't get teary on me now. And I fought back only once. There's no love in the way you killed me. That's a quote. Well, I didn't mean for there to be any love in it, and I don't know how I'd feel if you told me that your kills did. I know what you mean. I got so carried away. Killing you helped me forget the feeling of isolation. I can kill you countless times and do whatever to you, so I thought you'd forgive me always. And that's just awful. Sorry. Last loop, I realized that I really was being a pain in the ass for you, but you only saw this whole thing in terms of your own goal. What? It wasn't our goal to you. I'm just a side character to you, and all that matters to you is whether I'm useful or not. I only said that because I was just a bit pissed, that's all. It's a lie. You lie so much. I finally realized. You scare me. Even more than God. Being hurt, killed, or simply glared at by you scares me more than anything. That's how much I love you. You're scary because I love you, and I love you because you're scary. I want to kill you because I love you, and I love you so much I want to kill you. I know that's weird, but that's what I realized. I really do love you. But it's a feeling that's not mutual at all. That wouldn't have changed even if I wasn't killing you, right? Stop with the You always say that before telling a lie. You're not going to eat? I have a bunch of allergies. What did you mean by I already tried it? It's just something random I thought up on the spot. You'd be surprised how convincing mysterious words can be. I'm Haruki Fuzashi, a graduate student in a Tokyo college. Hey, who are you really? A student? A doctor? A detective? Or just a murderer? I don't know anything anymore. I love you, want to kill you, you scare me, want to be closer to you, run away from you, become one with you. I want everything you are, but I can tell you don't want that. But I don't know what'll happen after that. I figured that maybe just killing you over and over would keep me happy, even if it scared me. I always thought this was hell, but maybe it's actually heaven. I pushed her into the river. What are you doing? Wait, huh? What are you doing? Kissing you? I mean the pushing. Well, I just thought, what the hell is this girl who killed me dozens of times saying, and figured I had to get back at you somehow. Okay, repeat after me. I won't do what people don't want me to do. I won't do what people don't want me to do. Just so you know, I don't like being killed over and over, so find a better way to express your love. I'm sorry. Now, I look back at all that as an expression of love, and I don't hate you. I like how insane you are. Really? I mean, no, I won't let you fool me. If that's true, why have you been calling me just Chiemi after we started sharing memories? You noticed? I did. Because liking someone and dating them are two different things. I do like you, but I'd say our compatibility is the worst. Or maybe too good. If we're together for long, we'll just become more and more insane, even after we get out of here. Well, there are societies where you can get by being a bit weird, but I think that we both should look for someone more normal. And I kinda got close to someone else. Mikako? Yeah, and Haru. When did that happen? After you killed yourself. Hmm? Hmm. Oh well. Basically, you want to choose someone other than me, even though neither of them know about you now. That's not it. It's just that I ended up providing them really awful deaths. After that, I've been left with feelings of guilt and a desire to at least make them happy next time around. And it would be insincere to choose you while I still feel that way, right? About as insincere as pushing me down and kissing me. That kiss was payback for all the murders. Then... okay, fine. But really? My lips are enough for that? The taste was great. I remembered something. It's about the quiz you gave me. You being a thirsty perv is a bad answer, you innocent little girl. You dummy. I'll kill you. I won't kill you. Date me already. Be my darling. And become my first. Ah, this is it. This is exactly what I wanted. I love this mix of happiness and embarrassment. It sustains me. Then, no. If I do that, you'll find happiness in this looping hell and stop wanting to leave it. I don't mind that. Like hell, that's not how you were at the start, right? The looping warps people. Even I was no exception a couple times. Even if you can tough it out, dying hurts and it's something no one wants. Imagine if this goes on forever and we keep dying over and over, maybe even at each other's hands. I'm not confident I can keep liking you in that scenario. You can't deny that either, can you? As long as the loop continues, we won't expire due to old age and just pile memory upon memory as we go. Imagine if we end up hating each other. This would become a true hell. I don't want that. I really, really don't. What a crybaby. Shut up, psychopath. A murderer just called me a psychopath. Anyway, I try to stay honest from now on. I can't date you while counting on an escape that's not yet in sight. Thus, I said it. Is this what it means to be heartbroken? Yeah. No, huh? Nope. No. Sorry for killing you so many times. I got my payback. Sorry for killing you last time. It was just one time, but it was really cruel. I was so scared. Sorry. Sorry I've been a pain in the ass. Sorry for not being more considerate. I won't do that again. I do enjoy the attention you give me, though. Really? Really? You should really think about whether you want to kill or date me. Alright. I had so many dreams of murder that I forgot what's what. I want to forget everything. Let's go to the hanging pine and jump into Saranaga. Head first, like this. Why? Maybe the head trauma will help us forget what we don't want to remember. I like that. It's like a couple's suicide. We really might have been insane. Or maybe that could be said about everyone who is in love. You can't see the bottom from here. Yeah. Can we really die if we fall? I'm pretty sure we will. What if we fall on a flat part of the cliff, survive, and suffer? You got any other ideas, Jimmy? Well, maybe we'll fall in the same spot if we hug each other. You hopeless romantic. Huh? What's wrong? At this inappropriate moment, I realized something. I just had a thought that I should be the one at the bottom and take the brunt of the impact. Oh, you're gonna protect me, but then I won't hit my head and forget, right? That's not what I mean. It's not? I just figured since I can loop back if I die. That's not right. I mean, I'm the one who's gonna loop back. Yeah, that was like one of the first thoughts I had when I found out that they're both looping or like both keeping their memories. One of my first thoughts was who decides when the loop is going back to the start. And I kind of arrived at the conclusion that the loop just continues until they both die, either way, and then just resets. And it's just a matter of, okay, you know what, because if you're the person who dies, then, you know, you're dead. Whether the loop continues until the other person dies is of no consequence to you. So that's what I arrive at. But I was wondering sort of if they were going to get to that. Exactly. I've been going through this while ignoring one of the main issues here. From my perspective, I obviously don't remember what happens after I die, and I always go back to the start after just a moment. But now that I think about it, the same is true for you, right? Because we don't have consciousness when we're dead. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, you told me about things that happened after I died, so I was like, huh? Exactly. We talked about loops in which either of us weren't present, but we still don't know the condition that actually causes the loop to reset. Yeah, for all we know, it could actually be that a third person is involved in this, and it only loops back once all three people are dead, but obviously we have no way of knowing that. I thought that everything after my death just wouldn't happen. Same here, but we proved that's not how it works. Then when does the world loop back? It has to be some sort of day like our starting point, right? What's the longest you survived? It's also possible. It's possible that it just loops back at a specific point in time. The feast back then ended in 4 days, so it's probably 10 days or 2 weeks. Wait, hold on, I feel like I'd survived way longer than that. My longest is a week, but now that I think about it, it could happen a while after we die, like a year. Yeah, no matter how much time passes after we die, we won't be able to perceive it. Yep. Yeah, for all we know, the world could be looping after billions of years with the end of the universe. Wait, wasn't there a loop where we survived, we won the feast, and then like actually left the place, spent a bit of time somewhere else, and then came back, and then it was Nosato who hung Rikako and had like an axe in his hand or something like that. Wasn't that a loop where we actually like had spent a lot more time? It's not impossible, but I don't think this is quite that ridiculous. We know that someone is behind all this, and that they're creating a loop to bring back the monster. That's why it's best to believe the loop happens once they fail to do that. That's true. That means that if they failed, they would loop back even if we were alive. You ever had that happen? You didn't even know if you were dead or not, but for some reason you looped back? I did. When Kaori went out of control and I happened to survive, I left by bus and... Same here. It happened when I tried to move to Fujiyoshi and the officer chased me out. Hell, the same happened when we tried to escape by bike recently. I forgot about that. How mean. Of course, it could be that we just crashed in the mist, but the memories aren't clear, and it's weird that we don't remember just this one thing. There must be another trigger to activate a loop. This is a dream, right? Whose is it? The sheep had told me that the opponent was a dream wielder. The culprit tries to make their plot come to fruition in the dream. And if they fail or die, they restart the dream? That's a clue. Can we get out? It won't be that easy, huh? I fell silent, and after looking at the void before me, what do you want to do? Keep trying? Yeah, but I do want to try falling here at least once. You masochist. The memories of all the murders I committed are heavy, and I don't want to keep repeating this. Even if I can't forget it all, I need a bit of a change of pace. Crushing your skull for a change of pace, huh? What if you lose some important memories? I'm sure it'll be fine. The Haruaki and Chiemi I know can find out things like your sudden realization just fine. What if we forget that we know each other? That'd be good, actually. It'd be a chance for me to make a fresh start with you. This little masochist is pretty hung up on the idea of taking a dive in your embrace here. This might be my last chance for that. After all, I'd rejected her. Having a taste of the sentimentality behind a couple's suicide and actually surviving is pretty insincere, but pretty juicy, huh? I really like how your mind works in these situations. Really? You like it? I do. Do you love it from the bottom of your heart? Right before I was about to talk, my mouth was closed shut. Her lips cut my words short. Not bad. Get a grip, Haruaki. If we're gonna forget this, at least spoil me a bit. There was no guarantee we'd forget it. Oh well. I love you, Jamie. I love you too much. And that sounds like a lie. Sorry, I seem like a swindler. You really do. But I love you too, Haruaki. Then, yeah. With the hope of starting anew, forgetting all the nonsense, pain, hatred, and sadness, we innocently smiled at each other. And with shared hope, we jumped off the cliff. Obtain key 3, Distant Light. Let's look at it. Just like me, Chiyomi also loops back in time whenever she dies, retaining her memories. Her heart has been wounded and twisted through her maddening cycles of death and rebirth. But she hasn't completely broken yet. She made me realize that the trigger for the loop isn't either of our deaths. In hindsight, there should be times I looped where my cause of death was vague. If I reconsider the conditions, I may yet catch a glimpse of the mastermind. Bad ending number 3. Yeah, apparently it was just a dream. Okay. I feel like I remember there being a something that required keys 20 and 3. I don't know. I need 3. Well, 2 more keys, but I mean that does require 20 and 3, but it actually requires 2 more as well. What about in here? Is there anything there? Nope. Nope, we got a key from that. Wait, did I actually go through these first ones properly? This takes us to 4. Went through all of that. We went through all of that. We went through all of that. There's the one, 20 and 3. I don't remember what exactly this loop is going to be, but we're going in, I guess. First, I had to check if the place was even usable. The equipment and materials were all gone. The only thing of note here was the sink on the wall. The flooring was cold and a bit sandy. But with a bit of cleaning and a futon, it could be a decent living space. There was no running water, but if we placed a water bucket here, whoever was living here could easily wash themselves. Talk to Kionosuke. Wait, where? Why? I don't remember where we are, where we're at, but that's fine. At that moment, my head was flooded with information. I felt like my mind was crushed by a million sheep. Crap. Why'd I forget? Did my memories carry over in a weird way because the method from back then was weird? But this is very much like the last time. Sort of like the initial realization, I guess. I had tons of things to think about. About the beast in the village. The giant monster. The dream enveloping Fujiyoshi, as well as the looping the sheep had told me about. But This wasn't the time to worry about. I went back to the Nosoto mansion. Doorbell. Excuse me. Doorbell. Excuse me. Doorbell, 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 doorbell. In the jungle of the decadent void, the Buddha's corpse shouts out, "Ah! Who's singing the Buddha's ashrock while hammering my doorbell?" Me. You! Have you gone mad? What's wrong with you? You were a normal youth until just a moment ago. I'm perfectly sane. And you know this song? What about it? I simply remembered hearing it in a store. At a store. Oh, so you don't know the Hinja slaver? Well, I do. I knew it. Personally, I like Moraemon. What a minor Hinja. Black Dogeza is the way to go, starting with part 3. Oh, I really love the part where 5 Black Dogezas gathered and became the Black Dogezarian. You're an otaku, huh? So are you. Wait, this isn't the time to bond over minor flash movies. You don't have any other business with me, do you? I'm busy here. I have something to tell you. I believe you are someone who would understand. What is it? I will say something absurd now. You might even doubt my sanity. Well, I'm not saying that you can't differentiate reality and fiction. In fact, you can probably do it better than the average person. However, I do believe you have a decent ability to suspend your disbelief. Wait, what are you getting at? Do you know that movie where someone is repeating the day before the school culture festival over and over again? Oh, that one. It's a classic. Sure, I know it. What about it? Something similar is happening to me right now. Wait. Mists will rise from Saranaga in just a few hours. The Feast of the Yomi Purge will begin, and many will die. What? Huh? What are you? Wait, why do you know that term? You will die too. Answer my question. Stop saying ridiculous things. I understand if you don't believe me. I've repeated these few days dozens of times now, and with every death I loop back to square one. That's why I know a lot about Yasumizu, including things that no newcomer should know about. You are a doctor of medicine, graduated from XX University. Chikamochi Kamoshida is your nephew, and you have feelings for Rikako Uematsu. However, I'm sure that's not enough. I could have easily looked that up myself. And what's more, I didn't come here to save you. It's likely that you'll die this time too. But I would like to ask you some things, so I can prevent the feast from happening in another timeline. Are you serious? Yes. Why come to me? Through the many feasts I've been in, I've come to understand what kind of person you are. Your nature, basically. And I believe that you are a person who can understand things if they're explained properly. Come in. There. He led me into the well-furnished reception room. The inside was as fancy as the outside. The village heads had to be a really wealthy bunch. Is it that curious? He returned from the kitchen carrying a set of black tea. Sorry for staring. I think it's outdated too. Don't worry. Have some tea. Oh, no. No need to fuss over me. I'm of poor upbringing, so do tell me if I'm not drinking right or something. I won't mind if you drink how you want. Thank you. Now, was this room prepared by the head of the family from 3 generations ago, your great-grandfather? Where did you hear about him? Even you are a... how do I put it? A looper. I do not believe a Nosoto would tell you about the stain on the family name. Did another village head tell you about it? I don't know what he'd want, but he must be some sort of swindler. It was you. What? I heard it from you. When your and Chikamochi Kamoshida's relationship became worse, you told him this. You are as much of a madman as your great-great-grandfather. He closed his eyes and groaned, then laid back on his sofa. I invited you inside out of mere curiosity. But if you know that much, I might even believe you. I need you to, though I don't have anything I would call evidence. Instead, I will tell you of the loops I experienced. It will probably make it seem even more absurd, but I still want you to believe it. Enough with the build-up. Get to it. I drank the fragrant tea and spoke. About the time Yasunaga Oribe was won as a wolf. About the time Chiyomi tried to kill everyone and the time she failed. And even how at the end of that time, Kyunosuke had for some reason killed Rikako and then I killed him. Finally, I told him about the time I became a wolf and sacrificed my companions to win. Though I kept quiet about the sheep and the giant monster for now. It was hard to think that he was the main culprit behind the loop, but there was no guarantee that it wouldn't leak out somehow. Thus, I only told him that I was hanged because Mamiya found the flashlight. I'd also mentioned that Kyunosuke died too, and that I'd heard of the thing about his great-grandfather then. After about an hour of talk, he stood up to get more tea. He poured it in, and I gladly drank it. Unlike before, it was herb tea. Tired from talking, I let the pleasant scent of the tea wash away my fatigue, and eyed him. He was hanging his head, looking down at the tea leaves floating in his tea. He then took the cup in hand, drank some of it, and looked at me. You're right, that does sound absurd. However, it does seem like something that can happen in this absurd place. You believe me? I'll simply say that I'm more interested in this than ever, but the more I listen, the more I wonder. What do you want of me? If you've seen so many feasts, surely you know by now. I'm not a man who can do much in such a dire situation. I'll start with something seemingly unrelated, but I don't quite understand that opinion of yours. At first I thought you were just an arrogant and haughty person. Then I thought you were just a village head antagonistic to Yasumizu. I would only say that you are just a bit uncomfortable with your hometown, and that you actually have good discretion and talents. You do absurd things sometimes, but I do believe you look at your decisions from a third-person perspective. That makes me feel like you're hiding your true abilities. I honestly am nearly completely sure that the head families are involved in the feast. That's why I believe you might know something, but are hiding it. That's why I want you to tell me what you know about Yasumizu's and Fujiyoshi's secrets. Though as I mentioned before, there may be more delicate matters here, like the Uematsu family. Even so, I want to hear everything. I'm bad at talking and leading simply because I am that kind of person. As you know, the current head of the family is my older brother. He's a great man of character with immense intelligence and charisma. I've been in his shadow ever since I was young. Whenever I said or did whatever I wanted, he would spin it in a way that was good for me. Because everything went so well with him, I began to believe I was blessed with great talent. I realized how mediocre I really was by the time I turned 20. I realized I was bad at reasoning and generally a nuisance. That's why I left this village. But I couldn't find a place for myself outside either. The only place where I felt comfortable was the Sci-Fi Research Society. It was basically a hangout for gaudy people like myself. Even so, most of them were smart, and even the president, despite his many repeated years, had excellent leadership skills. I became the vice president, and whenever I said anything too apprehensive, speculative, or scathing, he would turn it around for me. I know full well that I can't lead. I imagine that the me you know merely tried to be useful to Sir Makishima, Yasunaga Oribe, or Muro. I probably couldn't abandon my pride even in that situation. A village head like me has to take charge and whatnot. That's so unreasonable. I truly am a problematic person. Please don't be so hard on yourself. I can see pretty clearly that you're a level-headed person. That's only because you said things so absurd that I felt like opening up to you. Remember how I was before I let you inside. A haughty, aggressive, boring man. Well, even if you're a liar and everything you said was made up, I consider this worth it for the moment of introspection. At least as long as you don't tell me to pay for your tuition or something. My heart ached a bit. I won't say that, of course. But I was exposing the current him to danger. Now, back on topic. About what you wanted to hear. Unfortunately, the family isn't that interested in me. You mean that? Yes, though I do know the basics of what a village head should know. I know absolutely nothing about what they do behind the scenes. No, do you know about the older hostilities between Yasumizu and Kami Fujiyoshi? No, please tell me. Unfortunately, barely anyone knew about the village and the feast, or rather they all converged upon a certain old story. It was a minor bit of knowledge Kinosuke knew as a village head, and he said that Yasumizu had once rebelled against Kami Fujiyoshi. They didn't know what had prompted it, but apparently it had something to do with the water used for growing crops. Anyway, the people of Yasumizu invaded Kami Fujiyoshi at night and stole, beat, and killed people. They were all covered in Saranaga's mud to keep from being identified. Kami Fujiyoshi's inhabitants greatly feared their appearance. Thus, after the rebellion, they decided to make things even worse for Yasumizu, and the inhabitants effectively strangled themselves, apparently. I believe the thing about Saranaga's mud is tied to Fujiyoshi's unique perspective on life and death, particularly Yomi. So, did the mud and the rebellion make Kami Fujiyoshi believe that the people of Yasumizu were Yomibito? That's not out of the question, but not certain either. Yasumizu and Kami Fujiyoshi had already been segregated, and it wasn't unlikely that there could be a rebellion. It was likely that the idea to cover themselves in mud was linked to the legend that Saranaga was Yomi and intended to frighten people. I see. So, how should we look at this event? For one, it was the reason for the Shinai Festival, the mountain festival that is still held today. They have a tradition to hold a parade of wolves, and it symbolizes the subduement and bringing down the people of Yasumizu. Have you seen the cloth masks they wear while farming? Yes, it's so that the people of Yasumizu don't look into the eyes of the Yomibito. It's the other way around. It's so that the people of Kami Fujiyoshi wouldn't have to look into the eyes of the people of Yasumizu, who may not be Yomibito. These old unreasonable superstitions are still alive because they crossed the line once. That's what the village heads believe. Saying it out loud, I realize how truly awful it is. Why is such a festival and tradition still alive to this day? That festival might actually be important for Yasumizu. Do you know why? I don't. The wolf parade passes all the Okiba in Yasumizu, splashes water on the residents, and meets the village representative in the hall. Tai, huh? The wolves would offer some things to the representative, and after thanking them for the festival's success, give them a lot of money and other goods. So they isolate Yasumizu economically and only pamper the place during these festivals. Exactly. You might say that this is just another way Kami Fujiyoshi controls Yasumizu. The money and goods are split among the inhabitants, and I hear it really helps them get by. This was only done out of fear that Yasumizu could rebel again. Just so you know, the Nosato don't approve of this. Only the Miguruma are fixated on it, and they're the top of Fujiyoshi. Though the Higuchi are in on it too. They believe that trampling all over Yasumizu is the logical thing to do. What an incomprehensible bunch. So, as far as you know, the Nosato don't approve of this tyranny. Yes, I can't deny that as far as I know. I'm sorry. I need to make something clear. It confuses me. You said that the rebellion wasn't the result of superstition, but that means that it's not certain if the mountain festival was caused by the rebellion either. Also, the festival and the feast are closely linked. You can even see it in the methods and roles. Well, you mentioned that the divine sake was drunk in the feast as well. Are you sure it's not a coincidence? If they donate paper, writing tools and rope, it would mean that at least the Miguruma know about what happens in the feast. Hell, at this point I'm willing to say it with absolute certainty. The Feast of the Yomi Purge is a severe crime committed by the head families to intimidate and control Yasumizu. I have an argument. You said that the feast involves monsters, doors that unlock themselves and supernatural punishments. It's a paranormal event. If you are certain that the head families are responsible, I would like a scientific explanation for all the strange events. That's easy. What? Before I get to that though, I would like to ask something. Can you show me the documents and writings collected in this mansion? I ended up being disappointed once. This house had a storage building and there were archives there. There had been a lot of documents left by Kionosuke's great-grandfather, but they'd been sorted after he died. Thus, there was barely anything left, and the record storage was more just general storage. Even so, I insisted on taking a look, and now I was here. It really was just a place stuffed with various things. I guess there was no lie that this whole mansion really is just a place to stash things. Yes, but we do have people living here sometimes. Like who? The previous two heads of the family lived here after they'd retired. So your father too? Yes. He quickly grew senile and died of poisoning. Is that true? When did that happen? 8 years ago. That's when the previous feast happened. What? Oh yes, it happened after the mist. There was a feast back then? Yes, the official report that people died in the landslide at your construction site must have been a cover for that. What? Wait, are you saying that my father knew something and died because of it? It's possible. And then there's the fact that this mansion was used as the retirement home of the previous Nosoto heads. I think we might find something here. If the Nosoto really are against the control structure in Fujiyoshi, that's even more likely. Let's look. If there's still something here. It must be hidden. The mansion is too large, and we don't even know what we will be looking for. I'm sure it must be something big. It has to be large enough for the previous heads to hide, write, and research. A secret room. I have a blueprint of the place. He found, opened it, and went around the mansion. There was nothing strange here. There were no empty spaces, and I didn't see any discrepancies with the actual building. Same went for the storage building. Isn't this a waste of time? No, if the blueprint isn't fake in any way, there must be something in a place that it doesn't cover. What do you mean? Let's check the basement of the storage building. I see. If there's a secret room in the basement, it wouldn't affect the blueprints because it would be outside the boundaries. Yes, the blueprint doesn't have to show false information. It just has to avoid showing it. But that will make the search even more difficult. Well, he was right that sifting through the mess there would take forever. But we could make it a lot easier if we focused on the floor and the walls. I'd left my bag in a prefab, so I had no flashlight. I asked Nosoto for something and he prepared an aged oil lamp. You have all sorts of things laying around, right? Huh? There's probably a flashlight somewhere, but this suits the atmosphere, right? I knew exactly what he meant. It took us less than half an hour to find it. Of course, it wasn't something that looked like what we were searching for at first glance. But it did seem a bit unnatural. There was a palm-sized crow carved on a wooden surface below the mortar wall. It was the symbol of the Nosoto family. Is it a clue? Or some sort of mechanism? It's not just a carving, its parts are separate and movable. Buttons, so it's like a game. So he wasn't the only Nosoto with strange hobbies, huh? I imagine it expects you to press them in order, but do you know any hints? The will of the crow. Offering those up to Fujiyoshi shall be as the will of the crow. That had to be it. So a Nosoto can open it easily, huh? Yes, we never repeat that teaching to anyone who isn't family. If it was made by my great-grandfather, then it must be a trap too. Seriously? But it's no problem for you, is it? What was it again? Claw? Feather? Oh no, I'm not sure. Do you remember it? Hey! Oh my god. No, I don't. I don't even remember what he's talking about. Hell no. Hmm. I wonder, does that actually, like, are there, wait, where am I here? Are there like multiple different options in the river? In the riddle? Like, does it lead to different paths? Or do we just die if we press the wrong one? Mm, hmm. Do any of them really make sense to me? Like, I'm going with that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's something like devour the claw, eye, and beak. Really? Let's try it. He quickly pressed the buttons as I told him. A moment later, a part of the wall turned 90 degrees. It opened up a space through which an adult, though probably not Hashimoto, could pass. He liked this kind of thing, I assume. Oh, how embarrassing. But I can't help but feel excited myself. It must be in my blood. Don't worry, I feel you. We bantered nonchalantly despite the dire situation. Once we made it inside, we had to pass through some hanging dried herbs. Wait, did I just get it right? Did I just randomly guess the right one out of the 6 options?